Vanguard's aesthetic is in shambles. It's failing to be unique, it's got no factions, more eye-turning skins are taking people out of the game, there's no filter, a trophy system that looks like a bunch of claymores on a tripod exists, and Captain Butcher is about to get a lot more annoying. Hi guys, my name is Matsuki, and welcome to an aesthetic mess. So I thought I'd kick this bucket of worms off with the new DLC maps. USS Texas and Numa are returning for the second and fourth time. This Zombies map has been in Vanguard since launch, World at War, BO1, and BO3 previously, and USS Texas was literally in Sledgehammer Games' last COD. From what I can tell, the ship looks like it has a couple changes, although we do have to see what the actual layout of the map is, and if that's changed. It looks like the cannons are either swapping ends on the ship, or they changed the angle of the rear cannons and swapped the dangling airplane to the opposite side of the boat. At least these changes are better than Black Ops Cold Wars, but it's not saying much. But yeah, the aesthetic seems the same as World War II's USS Texas, which is obviously not on the same quality standard as Radar was back in Season 1. Furthermore, USS Texas 1945 does not give Vanguard a more distinct identity. It's not a unique map, you've most likely played it before. Meanwhile, Captain Butcher, the announcer for Vanguard, is becoming an operator, also in Vanguard. Are you ready to use all your senses? Sight, touch, smell, and gun! Oh, did I forget one? Right, hearing. Essentially, Butcher is going to be having a go at your ear for 10 minutes straight every match. Since Butcher is probably going to be a tier 0 unlock operator in the Battle Pass, your team and the enemy team are going to be stacked with Butchers that won't shut up, while the real Butcher blabs to you in the comms. Too bad we don't have factions, huh? Not to mention Vanguard has been adding more lethal grenades, which have not been eliminating nade spam. When Vanguard launched, it didn't really seem like the trophy system was necessary since the equipment was nicely underpowered, but over time we've gotten more and more annoying nades. The incendiary grenade was super broken in OP when it released, and the Semtex for the most part feels like a better gammon bomb. Now, we didn't get a trophy system originally because the devs said it would ruin the World War II aesthetic, which seems like total BS considering the goddamn skins people were running around with. Love Ranger, ugly sweater with a gremlin, fucking magical god Belina, and the old devil himself. Plus there's tracer bullets with really crazy death effects. At this point, people called out their illogical thinking, so they gave us the World War II trophy system. It's pretty pathetic, especially after getting like Sledgehammer Games devs like Joe Salud saying when you want to be immersed, you don't want to be pulled out by something that feels artificial during some Sledgehammer Games interview for Vanguard. He seems to know what he was talking about. His statement sounded promising, but what happened, dude? Are people at Sledgehammer Games just on different pages when it comes to a World War II theme, or what? Actually, why do you need to be told this Polina skin doesn't fit Vanguard at all? Why does the team that's been researching World War II for over 6 years need to know basic artistic direction? Why does this need to be said? How far will devs go if we just keep quiet? We should speak up now about the red team pack for Modern Warfare 2 before they inevitably go too far. This isn't an unsupported slippery slope argument. Infinite Warfare and COD World War II had a couple silly skins added later into their life cycles. Next, BO4 decided to time travel and really get wacky since Season 1. Then MWII came out, and the devs' take on future cosmetics were, if it can be made in real life, it can be in Modern Warfare. That promise was broken, with tracers that turn you into a pile of video game cubes, lightning, and some were just sucking the soul right out of your body. I really hated the idea of death effects in BO4, and was hit by the same brick wall of disappointment in MW. Then we had Black Ops Cold War, which was worse than Modern Warfare. Later on in its life cycle, they added silly skins with particle effects, like the wee ghillie suit that had smoke, the purple crystal pyro skin that had purple fire radiating off its shoulders, a lava skin with steam, a toxic tube maniac with clouds of green leakage, and there's an actual skeleton with blue fire. Sans reference maybe? I don't know. And that's just the particle effects. This COD also had electric knight suits, supervillain gods, LED masked tier 100 skins, and an animated fire armor Perseus member, Mason with different colors of dark matter on his suit in the 1980s, Port Nova dressed in a Scooby-Doo underwater villain suit, a neon cyberpunk android, and let's not forget Judge Dredd and his Fortnite comic book style. There's probably more than I'm missing, but that's the gist of it. Now it's Morbin time for Call of Duty Vanguard, the current COD. February 10th, 3 months in, a quarter of its life cycle, and they brought this into COD. Artistic direction has spiraled out of control. It has been disrespected and mocked at. If this isn't a good indicator of a slippery slope, I don't know what is. I'm worried for Modern Warfare 2. Immersion in COD is something I care deeply about. Heck, I made 2 videos dedicated to this topic before Vanguard launched, because the Vanguard Alpha and Beta already had illuminated reticles on scopes, and Cold War had just dropped realism out the freaking window of a skyscraper. Like, I was concerned, but I didn't know Vanguard would get this bad this quickly. Just seeing the Red Team bundle already available for Modern Warfare 2's launch has me shaking and crying right now. For real though, this should worry you way more than some small illuminated reticle. I voiced my concerns with Prestige's Key recently. He thought the skins looked neat, but I thought Alex's red mask and Far's ghoul mask looked like a plastic Halloween costume for children. I think Ghosts looks kinda cool, but Price's carbon half skull faceplate looks rather silly. 3/4 of these skins look like they're from my own middle school's haunted house party. This is Modern Warfare 2. No, not that MW2, I mean the MW2 remake Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. Frankly, I'm not seeing any respect for the source material. This isn't Modern Warfare, this is a world of pretend, uncanny warfare, unworthy of the Modern Warfare 2 title, let alone the Call of Duty name. I miss when COD used ski masks with very creative ghostly skull designs, when the masks didn't look like plastic. Luckily, Prestige told me that there are plenty more ballistic masks from what he's seen behind the scenes so far. Given the context of what I said to him, I hope these ballistic masks don't look like plastic and are more in line with Call of Duty's classic art style. And to voice some of my fans' concerns, here's 3 from my immersion versus cartoony and realism rant video. Ricardo Balbo says Battlefield 5 and COD Vanguard aren't a clown, but they are the whole circus. They are the worst examples of games based in a historical setting. I can't help but agree. CJ says, when playing Vanguard, I don't really feel like I'm playing a World War II game. I feel like I'm playing a game in the Wild West in the modern day, with sportized World War II weapons. Also, the lack of faction outfits really makes differentiating friend from foe really difficult. I also agree with that. No factions in a World War II shooter is firstly downright disrespectful to one of the most horrific real-world events, but also makes no sense gameplay-wise. I just made a video about blue dots above players' heads in COD, fucking your perception of ground covered and how blue dots can trick you into thinking an enemy is a friendly. With no factions, this blue dot issue was amplified to the max. Hopefully MW2 does Task Force 1 for 1 versus Shadow Company. I'd love to see that. Factions would help solve this issue. Then, Gamer by Bathwater also said, to be honest, I kinda agree with Prestige's Key. That was wicked odd that they just kinda copied and pasted Ghost and Price into Infinite Warfare. And I agree. Prestige essentially said how these unhelmeted characters were jarring to see in space. Moving on to my Immersion Matters in COD Vanguard video, comment section. Carl Plays Shooter says, for freaking real. Vanguard looks like it'll lack a lot of immersion. Plus, looking at Cold War's and Modern Warfare's cosmetics pretty much tells us how Vanguard's will be down the line. And oh, that line was short. Nonetheless, the time these skins drop, in my opinion, is irrelevant because we just shouldn't have these skins in COD. I guess I can see how people expect these sort of cosmetics later on, but I played MW19 for 3 years. These cash grabs are so disheartening to see for 2 of those 3 years. The game shouldn't turn into garbage after a year. I bought Modern Warfare 2019 to last. Next up we have Sabotage, who says, sometimes I'd just rather not have any customization at all, like in World at War, because these designers have no brains. If I was directing a World War II video game, I would make it historically right. There's more than enough to make a good selection of guns and skins. Let me change my vest and small things that still fit the world, like the Milsim skins. There's plenty of weapon camos and wraps that would fit the backdrop of the game. I hate that every COD now looks like a mobile game ripoff of the real thing. Just copy and paste World at War with more immersive customization and leave the fun gameplay. Like, you can't print money, Activision. This was perfectly said. Thank you, Sabotage. It just feels like the devs are detached and creatively bankrupt. Instead of overhauling character customization in a place where it is limited by its time period, they didn't give 2 shits. But hey, if you guys are watching this video right now, how about you throw your own 2 cents in the comments below? I may use them in a future video, so there's some incentive. And to end this video off, I'd like to talk about the opposing side to immersion in Call of Duty. This side is pro add anything all the time. My first conversation of the two was another response to my Modern Warfare 2 mask suggestion reply to Prestige. Lucky says, it's a respawn game where people run around with snipers and flex gold skins. If that's not childish, I don't know what is to you. Lamau. Firstly, I'd like to address this very common misconception that artistic style equals gameplay, because it doesn't. If I said, I don't think Minecraft should have circles and spheres because it's a blocky game with a square aesthetic, there should be no opposing argument that brings up gameplay. Like, who says, oh, you don't like circles? Well, let me tell you, Minecraft is a first-person respawn sandbox. If you don't like circles, you don't want Minecraft. Like, does this make any logical sense? No, there's zero correlation. Secondly, I think there is a fine line between childish and badass. A gold-plated or diamond-studded gun in COD is a symbol of royalty. Jewels are associated with wealth and power. They're excellent for mastery camos. But a red plastic mask? How does that compete with pure luxury? It looks like something I'd see at Dollarama around Halloween. That said, I still prefer a COD with an immersive atmosphere, not a cartoony or realistic one. It doesn't need to feature only military gear and shouldn't feature Fortnite levels of cartooniness. It looks super cringe in COD. This Titan takes me out entirely. COD isn't Fortnite, so don't make it Fortnite, please. If we get a crossover, make it COD themed. Modern Warfare apparently did a crossover with The Last of Us with this skin for Wyatt. And it looks alright. I think Snoop Dogg and the COD Infinite Warfare hero rigs would have looked a lot better in their games if they had the appropriate headgear on. I love being able to immerse myself in another world to escape reality. If you want to see Lucky's next response, just pause the video, cause I'm moving on. Next we got ZarmanYT's replies. If you want to show him some support, he does make montages on YouTube, but let's get into the hot takes. So he replied to someone that didn't care for the red team skins by saying, you literally don't have to buy it, Lamau. Common theme, Lamau. So I said that I have to see these skins at launch though, so we need an option to turn them off. He then said, or just suck it up. Took y'all hardly half an hour to bitch about cosmetics. I called his response stupid because people will react to a post, and that if he thinks asking for a feature is bitching, he needs to sit down and maybe rethink that a little. Then Zarman said, ah yes, being able to turn off the cosmetics that people are paid to create just because you specifically don't like them. You people are so ass backward, it's hilarious. I asked him, did he not play older Call of Duties? And then he says, you mean a decade ago when cosmetics weren't a thing in BO2? It's not 2012, dude. Times have changed. Either stick with it or just don't play games at all if you're that upset over meaningless cosmetics. So I asked him why he's so upset about me asking for a feature. I said that he could have said, yeah, more options are always better, but you didn't. You defended all future skins because maybe you like them? Shit like the Armored Titan and Vanguard is just the beginning. I'd rather not see more of it. That's all. Then Zerman said, in the span of 3 CODs, I've probably purchased maybe 5 bundles total because I don't care. Some look good, some don't. Cosmetics are never gonna go away, so I literally do not see the point of wanting them turned off, just to not see them. That's just kinda dumb. So I asked him, like, why is it so dumb? I didn't purchase an arcade military shooter to just battle mobile game skins. There are some game mechanics like the leaning mechanic in Vanguard that I can just turn off in the settings, so I mean, like, it's just about creating an experience the user can control. He didn't give me another response after that. But I think my point still stands. This option doesn't affect others' experiences, unlike the silly cosmetics that are jarring in an arcade military shooter, which is what COD is advertised to be. So what do you guys think? Should COD add an outfit filter? How should it be implemented? Personally, I think skins should be put into sets or categories you can disable in the graphics settings. Fortnite has sets. For example, Cuddlepool and Deadpool are in the Deadpool set because they are both Deadpool themed. If COD had categories, I'd probably disable the silly set and maybe the zombies set too. I don't like my Call of Duty multiplayer mixing with zombies that much, so this feature would be suited nicely for me. So if you guys have any feedback, let me know, cause I'd love to consider it. If you guys enjoyed and want to help support my channel so that maybe one day I can become a full-time YouTuber, please hit that like button and share this video with whomever may find it useful. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, homies.
Specialist achieved.